This is a series of 100 films about Japanese places I've been, and this is a film about the naughty kind of hotels in Shibuya. Part 2, Love Hotel Hill. Shibuya is one of the 23 special wards in Tokyo Prefecture in the Kanto region, the area around Tokyo, on the island of Honshu in eastern Japan. It's serviced by the Yamanote Line, the Shonan Shinjuku Line, the Saikyo Line, the Tokyu Denentoshi Line, the Tokyu Toyoko Line, the Ginza Subway Line, the Hanzomon Subway Line, the Fuktoshin Subway Line, and the Narita Express. To the west, behind the shops, is an area called Love Hotel Hill. This is where you can rent rooms for 5 or 6 hours, or an entire night. In Japanese, they call this kind of neighborhood the pink guy. Guy is the suffix in Japanese for neighborhood type. And I'm not saying it's a huge place for prostitution. Shibuya is a moderate place at best. And the idea of a Love Hotel Hill sounds racy until you find out most people in Japan are living with both their parents and their grandparents. And while they no longer build houses with walls of only paper, they're still pretty thin. That is, if you don't sleep in the same room as other family members. Also, love hotels aren't cheap to stay in. They're about $150 per night, which isn't so bad for North America, but in Japan, that's expensive. Menyuuu. And they have a policy where you can't leave once you're checked in. You can't even walk in the hallway outside your door. Although oddly enough, if you order delivery pizza, like Domino's, or Chinese food, you can get that right to your hotel room. So who knows? If you stay overnight, you check in at 10 p.m. Checkout time is 10 o'clock the next morning, and it's very strict. And keep in mind, while I'm talking about this casually, most Japanese people, especially women, are mortified by the idea of being caught exiting a love hotel. It's not like checking out of the Westin, Another thing, back home I'm used to all of our restaurants and shops occupying the first or second floor of a building. But almost always in Shibuya, as in many places in Japan, you'll see entire buildings of restaurants and bars, each with a different floor. You get into an elevator just to get to the front door of the place. And sometimes it can be hard to tell what kind of bar you're about to enter. Menyuuu. At many of them, you pay extra to have a girl talk to you. That's called a hostess bar or a snack bar. If it has an entire hallway and every 2 feet is a different sign, or if you see a big sign with girls on it, it's probably one of these places. There's nothing particularly naughty about it, but hostess bars often charge extra by the hour, plus an entrance fee and a nomination fee if you want to talk to a specific girl, and you have to pay for the girl's drinks, which are often watered down so she won't get drunk. That way she won't lose her moral virtue to the customers. It's why they call this business the menyuuu shobai, the water trade, because they're all drinking water. Of course, the prettier the girl, the more exorbitant the fees and prices of drinks. Compared to betting on horse races, it seems like a better way, though, to lose your money. Also, Shibuya has a lot of legitimate nightclubs. However, it can be hard to find them. Even the biggest nightclubs like Womb or Club Asia only have a small little door off an alley, leading to a gigantic complex easily occupying 3 or 4 floors below ground. Which sounds a little bit scary, knowing that there's earthquakes, but I wouldn't worry. The further underground you are, the less the shaking from the quake. And during regular business hours, Shibuya has lots of high-end department stores like Parco and Seibu, where you can spend $1,000 on a summer jacket. Most of the shopping is geared towards women, like the Ichimaru-kyu, the Shibuya 109. This is the iconic building completely devoted to women's fashions. It's a complex with multiple kiosks on each floor. Now, I've never been in there, but from women I've talked to, there's a lot of college-aged girls screaming at other women to buy stuff. Most of the stuff there is cheap compared to the high-end department stores. And finally, you're unlikely to end up stumbling upon Love Hotel Hill. But God help you, if you end up there, remember people are embarrassed to be seen heading off to do naughty business. They're coming and they're going, and they're coming and going with the wrong person. If you just keep wandering around, you'll eventually find yourself back to the Hachiko Crosswalk again by the train station. It's easy to get lost in Shibuya, but it's also easy to get found. How do I get there? If you're new to Japan, you'll probably want to start in Tokyo from Shinjuku Station, since it's the busiest train station in the world. Take the Yamanote Line in the Osaki direction from JR Shinjuku Station. It's a 6-minute trip. As always, remember that this information may be out of date by the time you're watching this. The word of the day. The word of the day is menyuuu. It means menu in English. And sure, this loan word is easy, but the other loan words, even if they're from English, they're tough. So if you want to remember this word, feel free to watch this video 10 more times and repeat along with me. At least that's what I do. Next time! So that's it until next time when we visit Tokyo's skyscraper district. So until then, sayonara.